You got a raise this year. More money in your bank account. So why? Does it feel like you have less than you did before? Here's a fact that should make you stop scrolling. The average American who earns $75,000 a year saves less than $500 a month. And the average American who earns $150,000 a year saves roughly the same. Same savings, double the income. That's not a coincidence. That's a trap. And here's the question nobody's asking. What if the moment your salary went up was the exact moment you started falling behind? Think about the last time you got a raise. Did you upgrade something? New apartment, new car, new subscriptions, nicer restaurants, better clothes. Feels right, doesn't it? You work hard. You deserve it. But here's the thing. Every dollar you upgraded your lifestyle is a dollar that stopped working for you. And the real reason most people stay broke isn't their salary. It's the invisible drain that follows every raise they ever get. It has a name, lifestyle inflation, and it is the silent wealth killer nobody warns you about. Stay with this, because we're about to do the math, and it is going to hurt. Let's meet someone. Call him Marcus. Marcus is 28. He just landed a promotion. He's going from $55,000 a year to $75,000. That's $20,000 more a year. About $1,666 more every single month. Marcus feels incredible. First thing he does, he moves into a nicer apartment for $100 more per month because he deserves it. And honestly, the old place was rough. Then he gets a car payment, just $350 a month. It's not even that nice, just newer. He starts going out more. Dinners, concerts, weekend trips. About $300 extra per month. He signs up for a gym, a streaming bundle, a meal kit service. Roughly $150 in new subscriptions. Oh, and his wardrobe. He's at a new level professionally. He needs to look the part. $200 more per month on average. Let's add that up. $400 plus $350 plus $300 plus $150 plus $200. That's $1,400 more per month in spending. He earned $1,666 more. After taxes, that raise probably nets him around $1,200. So Marcus is now spending more than he earned from his raise. He didn't save his raise. He didn't invest his raise. He consumed it, and he feels great about it. Because from the outside, his life looks better. But here's the trap. Marcus's net worth barely moved. In fact, with the car payment and the higher rent locking him in, Marcus now has less financial flexibility than he had before the raise. That's lifestyle inflation in action. And here's what most people don't realize. It doesn't feel like a mistake while it's happening. It feels like progress. Quick note before we go any further. Everything in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not personal financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your accountant. Always do your own research and talk to a licensed professional before making any financial decisions. Okay, now back to the money. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets real. What if Marcus had done something different? What if he had kept his spending the same after the raise and invested that extra $1,200 per month over 10 years at a conservative 8% annual return? $1,200 a month times 12 months times 10 years equals $144,000 contributed. With compound growth at 8%, that becomes approximately $220,000. Over 20 years, same $1,200 a month, same 8% return. That becomes approximately $715,000. Over 30 years, $1.78 million from a raise he already earned, money he already had, just not spent. But Marcus didn't do that. Marcus got a nicer apartment and a car note. And at 58, he'll look back and wonder where his money went. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I need to enjoy my life. Absolutely. 100%. Nobody's saying live like a monk. But there's a difference between choosing to spend and spending by default. Marcus didn't choose to spend that $1,400. His lifestyle chose for him. And that's the difference between people who build wealth and people who look wealthy. The wealthy? They raise their savings rate first. Then they upgrade their lifestyle with what's left. The average person? They upgrade their lifestyle first. Then try to save whatever scraps are left. There are no scraps. There are never scraps. So why does this keep happening? Why do smart, educated people repeat this pattern over and over? It starts with something called hedonic adaptation. Big phrase. Simple concept. Your brain adjusts to new normals. Remember the first time you got your own place? Or bought something you've been wanting for months? That feeling was incredible. But after a few weeks, it was just normal. The thrill faded. And then you needed something bigger to feel that again. That's hedonic adaptation. And it's the engine that drives lifestyle inflation. Every upgrade feels amazing at first. Then it becomes the new baseline. Then it feels like a necessity. Then you upgrade again to feel something. And the cycle never stops. But here's what most people don't realize. Studies from Princeton and Harvard show that life satisfaction from spending plateaus significantly beyond a certain income threshold. A 2021 paper from Matthew Killingsworth at Wharton found that above roughly $100,000 a year in the U.S., additional income has a much smaller impact on day-to-day emotional well-being than people expect, which means you're upgrading your lifestyle expecting to feel more. But your brain is built to adapt and reset. You'll always want more. It's not a character flaw. It's biology. And there's another force at play here. Social comparison. When your income goes up, your social circle often changes. You're now around people who have nicer things, nicer cars, nicer vacations, nicer everything. And your brain, the same brain designed to keep you safe in a social group, starts telling you you need a match. This is called keeping up with the Joneses. Except the Joneses are also broke. According to a 2023 survey by Bankrate, nearly 57% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency from savings. 57%. These are the people whose lifestyles you might be trying to match. Now, this is important. Lifestyle inflation isn't just about spending more. It's about locking yourself in. That apartment? Lease. That car? Monthly commitment. Those subscriptions? Auto-renew. Every upgrade adds a fixed cost to your life. And fixed costs destroy financial flexibility. They reduce your options. They reduce your freedom. They keep you on a treadmill. Let's talk about the $500. Because it keeps coming up. Most people who make decent money say they feel like they should be saving more, but can't figure out where $500 extra a month would even come from. But here's the flaw in that thinking. The $500 was already there. It came in with every raise, every bonus, every side income. It just got allocated a lifestyle before you ever had a chance to save it. Here's what most people do. They wait until the end of the month to save. Whatever's left over after all spending goes to savings. And there's almost never anything left over, because spending expands to fill available income. Always. Here's what wealthy people do instead. They pay themselves first. The moment money comes in, a percentage goes directly out to savings or investment. Before rent, before groceries, before fun. They live on the rest. And over time, their lifestyle adjusts. Not down, just smarter. Let's run some real numbers on the $500. If you save $500 a month starting at 28 and invest it at an average 8% annual return, 44 by age 38, $91,000. By age 48, $295,000. By age 58, $745,000. By age 65, $1,200,000. 1.2 million. From $500. $500 a month. That's one streaming service. That's 2 dinners out a week. That's a car payment on a car you don't actually need. The money exists. The question is where it goes. And here's something almost nobody talks about. You don't need a higher income to fix this. You need a higher savings rate. Those are not the same thing. Income is how much comes in. Savings rate is how much you keep. A person making $60,000 who saves 20% is building more wealth than a person making $120,000 who saves 5%. Double the income, half the outcome. According to data from the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, the median American family between 55 and 64 has about $185,000 in retirement savings. The median. meaning half have less. If you retire at 65 and live to 85, that's $185,000 across 20 years. $9,250 per year. $770 a month. Plus Social Security if it's still there. That's what lifestyle inflation costs you. Not now. Later. When later matters most. Let's do something uncomfortable. Think about the last 5 years. Have you gotten a raise? A bonus? A promotion? Most people have gotten at least one. Now, where did that money go? Be honest. A better apartment? A newer phone? More subscriptions? A bigger car payment? More eating out? More traveling? None of those are bad choices on their own. But here's the question. Did your savings rate go up when your income went up? Or did your savings rate stay flat while your spending quietly expanded? Most people don't even track this. They know their salary. They don't know their savings rate. And you can't fix what you don't measure. Here's a quick exercise. Take your monthly take-home pay after taxes. Subtract your monthly savings and investments. Divide the savings by the take-home pay. That's your savings rate. If it's under 10%, you have work to do. If it's under 5%, this is urgent. If it's 0%, don't panic. But start today. Financial researchers generally suggest that to retire comfortably at a reasonable age, you need a savings rate of at least 15 to 20%. The average American saves around 4 to 5% of their income. According to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, the personal savings rate in early 2024 sat around 3.6%. 3.6%. We are consuming everything we earn and then some. But here's the flip side. The people who save 20% or more. They're not living miserable lives. Most of them have just learned to separate what they truly value for what they spend on out of habit. Let's talk about the sneaky stuff. The costs that don't feel like costs. Subscriptions. The average American household spends over $200 a month on subscriptions, according to a 2023 report by C+ our research. And the same study found that most people underestimate this by about $100 a month. They think they're spending $100. They're actually spending $200 because we forget about subscriptions. That's why they're called recurring charges. They're designed to be invisible. Your phone is probably $100 a month. Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, Disney Plus, Spotify, that's probably $70. Amazon Prime, $15-ish. The gym you sometimes go to, $40. The meal kit you use twice a month, $60. iCloud storage, Audible, some random app you forgot about. Add it up, $300 to $400 a month, just in recurring digital charges. Not one of those feels like a lot alone. Together, that's a month of groceries. Now, let's talk about the car. The average new car payment in America as of 2024 is $738 a month. $738. Plus insurance. Average around $150 to $200 a month. Plus gas if it's not electric. Another $150 to $200. Plus maintenance and registration. A car can easily cost you $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Most people think of the car payment as the cost. They don't see the total cost. And cars depreciate. The moment you drive off the lot, the average new car loses about 20% of its value in the first year. So you're paying $738 a month for something losing value every single day. That is the exact opposite of building wealth. Now, you might need a car. That's real. But there's a massive difference between a $738 per month new car and a reliable used car you paid cash for or financed at $250 a month. That difference? Nearly $500 a month. There's your $500. Right there. In one decision. This is where it gets really interesting. Because if you study wealthy people, actually wealthy, not just high income, they don't look like what you think. Thomas Stanley spent years researching millionaires for his book, The Millionaire Next Door. What he found? The majority of American millionaires live in middle-class neighborhoods, drive modest cars, shop at discount stores, and nobody would guess their net worth. The people who look wealthy? High car payments, high rent, high spending, and very little in savings. Real wealth is quiet, because real wealth is options. the ability to quit a job you hate, the ability to handle an emergency without panic, the ability to retire earlier than the system expects you to. None of that requires a luxury car. None of that requires a penthouse. It requires a savings rate and discipline and time. Here's what wealthy people typically do differently. 1. They automate savings before spending. The money leaves the account before they can touch it. 2. They track their spending. Not obsessively, but they know the numbers. 3. They distinguish between lifestyle needs and lifestyle wants. And they're brutally honest about which is which. 4. They think in decades, not months. Every financial decision gets run through a long-term lens. 5. They celebrate savings milestones, not just income milestones. None of these strategies require genius. They require intention. And intention is free. Okay, so what do you actually do about this? Here's the framework. Simple, actionable, no fluff. Step 1. Find the leaks. Pull up the last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Don't flinch. Just look. Categorize your spending. Housing, transportation, food, subscriptions, entertainment, clothing, other. Add up each category. The numbers will surprise you. Step 2. Define your enough. This is the question almost nobody asks. How much is enough? Not forever, just for now. What apartment is enough to be comfortable and safe? What car is enough to get you where you need to go reliably? What phone is enough to do everything you need? Notice the word, enough. Not impressive, not aspirational. Enough. When you answer these honestly, you'll find room in your budget you didn't know existed. Step 3. Implement the raise rule. Every time your income goes up, at least 50% of that increase goes directdirectly to savings or investments. Not 100%. You can enjoy some of it, but at least half. If you get a $500 per month raise, $250 goes to your future self. Automatically, you keep $250 to enjoy. This single rule, if applied consistently over a career, is enough to retire wealthy. Step 4. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers on payday. Before you see the money, before you can spend it. $200 to emergency fund. $300 to investment account or retirement. That's your $500. Gone before you can lifestyle inflate it away. Step 5. Audit subscriptions every 6 months. Set a calendar reminder. Every 6 months, review every recurring charge. Ask, did I use this? Do I value this? If the answer is no, cancel immediately. No guilt. No hosetaschen. Subscriptions are designed to be forgotten. Your job is to remember. There's one more concept we need to talk about, and most people have never heard of it. Opportunity cost. Every dollar you spend has a hidden cost. Not just the dollar you spent, but the future value of that dollar. The compound growth it would have generated. The financial freedom it would have bought. Let's run a quick example. That's $738 car payment. What if instead of $738 a month, you drove a reliable used car and paid $200 a month? That's $538 a month freed up. Invest that $538 at 8% for 30 years. That's over $800,000. $800,000 from a car decision. Or think about that apartment upgrade. That $400 more per month in nicer rent. Invested at 8% over 20 years. That's around $240,000. So that nicer apartment actually cost you $240,000 in opportunity cost. That's a number nobody puts on the lease. Now here's the mindset shift. When you think about spending money, don't just think about the sticker price. Think about its future value. A $100 dinner today is not $100. It's $100 that could have compounded to $450 in 20 years at 8%. Does the dinner still make sense? Maybe. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe the experience is priceless. But now you're making the decision with full information. Not just, can I afford this now? But, what does this cost me in the future? That one mental shift will change how you see every purchase. Here's the truth. Lifestyle inflation isn't about being irresponsible. Most people who fall into it are smart, hardworking, well-intentioned. They're just running on autopilot, spending because spending is the default. Upgrading because upgrading feels like progress. But progress isn't more stuff. Progress is options. Progress is the ability to say no to a job you hate. The ability to handle life's surprises without spiraling. The ability to retire when you choose to, not when the system says you have to. The $500 a month this video talked about, it's not about deprivation. It's about intention. It's about looking at your raises, your income, your spending, and deciding what you actually want your money to do. Because money doesn't grow when you spend it. It grows when you invest it. And it disappears when you upgrade your lifestyle without thinking. Marcus from our earlier example, he's not a cautionary tale because he's bad with money. He's a cautionary tale because he never stopped to ask a single question. Where is this money going? You just asked that question. By watching this far, that puts you ahead of most people already. Now, the only thing left? Do something about it. Calculate your savings rate. Audit one subscription today. Move $100 into an investment account before the weekend. One thing. Today. Not because it's perfect, because it's the start. And starts compound too.